Eastern PA Weather 30 meteorologist Bobby Martich here with your outlook for November 29th, 2016. Gonna have a rainy day today. Clouds and rain expected for most of the daylight hours today. This is going to be a variation of just showers to at times steady, maybe even some heavy rain embedded with this. Not overall too bad, but this is going to be a drought buster for many areas, not only today but also for what's expected behind it on Wednesday. The 2-day period should get most areas over 2 inches of rain, which would be very, very good. For those drought concerns in this region. I know it's not snow. Some people are looking for snow, saying, where's the snow? It's coming. Just we still need to get these the water tables up. Some of the creeks in these areas are all dried up and need to be replenished, and need to do so quickly because we haven't had much rain in the fall, and any of this rain will certainly help the water tables and get those reservoirs back up. I know it's not growing season anymore, but this all helps as we head into the spring. The more rain and then eventually snow and snow melt as you get into later in the winter will help as you get into spring as well. So this is all much needed and very welcomed rainfall. Moving forward, we're going to see these showers and at times heavy rain moving through during the course of the day today. I think this is mostly a daytime event. Okay, so we start tapering off the showers here in the evening, and then the overnight we just go to mostly cloudy skies, and you can see that here. We get that break, but you can see what's developing down to the south here. Another wave of low pressure. This might actually be more potent than the first one. Before we get into that, though, I want to get over to the NAM high-res future simulated radar. We're going to start this off at 7 a.m. You can see much of the area, except maybe far eastern areas or far southeastern areas, might not get into the rain yet, but most areas during the morning rush are getting rain at this point. And then we'll move through at varying intensities in the morning. We'll have some pockets of heavy rain moving through as well. But you can see now we're getting to 10 a.m., 11, noon. So you see a theme here. It's pretty much continuing. And then we get in the afternoon hours. It starts to die off a little bit. Still gets a little bit more showery type as you get into mid to late afternoon. And this finally starts to push off to the east here. Here's, by the time we get to 5 p.m., the last thrust of... here's 5, here's 6. You can see the last thrust of energy associated with this frontal boundary will be moving through, and then that should be dying off here in the evening hours. Here's a look at 8 p.m. Most areas are finally starting to dry out at this point, and then we get to a mostly cloudy period in the overnight on Tuesday night before we get into Wednesday's rain that will come in. And again, that's with this system down here, and we're going to move this forward from this point. This is now looking at Wednesday morning, early morning, so might have a break for the morning rush on Wednesday, but I do think during the course of the morning we start to fill in. You see a lot of darker, heavier rain embedded in this with a developing area low pressure, actually 2 of them, one here, in association with this main low that's up to over the Great Lakes. This is again a warm system. These next 2 days, next couple of days here, when we have these systems come through, they're going to be 100% rain across the entire coverage area because we have a warm southerly flow that will become southwesterly eventually, but either way, anything coming from this direction right this time of year is going to be on the warm side. You're not getting any frozen precipitation, even in the far north. So 32-degree lines well up into Canada here at this point, so we're not expecting anything frozen. In fact, we're going to have quite the opposite. Temperatures are going to be reaching the 60-degree mark in many locations by Wednesday, and maybe even mid to upper 60s is down here by Philadelphia. I wouldn't be surprised if some areas southeast of Philadelphia reach the 70-degree mark actually here on Wednesday with that warm flow out ahead of it. So it'll be very, very warm, but short-lived synoptic warmth. This is synoptically driven, which means this system is actually helping to drag the warmth up northward, farther north than usual. And then here's a look at the afternoon hours on Wednesday. So we head to the evening. We're still going to have some showers around, some areas of rain. And then I do think overnight we start to clear out by the time we get to Thursday morning. This is the look here. She might have some early morning clouds giving way to sun here on Thursday, but I do think we're going to get back to eventually mostly sunny skies here on Wednesday. And that's going to continue here on Friday and also on Saturday. Might have some lake effect snows up here in southern New York if you're traveling up in that direction. I don't think it gets into our area necessarily, but I do think it gets a little bit colder over the weekend. We're going to this high pressure that's going to be in control of the weather here on Saturday, up through Saturday. So we're going to stay dry through Saturday. Once we get into Sunday, though, it's a little bit interesting development here to our south. We're going to watch this system now moving out from the southern United States down here, but there's not too much. I mean, there's some cold air here. There's cold, but it's near average, so it's not really, really cold yet. If this is a week later, we could be talking about a possible snow event out of this. We're going to have to watch this one closely, though, because this does come in, looks like later Sunday. Here's Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening. You can start seeing the rain start to creep in here, but this particular model here it's taking this path up to the west here, so this is not conducive for a snow event, but you could get into a what's called a southwest flow event, but I don't think that's going to be really affecting our area so much. Maybe the far northern areas. We'll have to watch that because there could be some snow at the onset up there. But you have a high pressure that's sitting up here, and this high pressure is not cold enough or not strong enough to really funnel too much in the way of cold air down from Canada. It's going to do that somewhat, and I think because it's up here, once this system moves further north, interior New England is going to get hit hard with some snow. But it's still not early. We're still too early to be talking about this system here affecting our area, I think. We'll have to watch this just in case, though, because it's awfully close, especially if interior parts of the far northern tier across northeastern Pennsylvania back to central PA, those mountains there, you could get some snow at the onset. That is not entirely out of the question, but this does look like to be a decent rainmaker for most, and it will go over to rain, even those areas that if they do start off with snow in the far north will go over to rain, but this could be a pretty good snow event up here for interior New York State, also up into Vermont, New Hampshire, western Massachusetts, western Connecticut, maybe northwest Connecticut. You could have some areas up here that get some pretty good snows out of there, but I think our area for the most part right now on the 5th of December, this is now Sunday night and so Sunday afternoon through the day on Monday. This is look at Monday morning, and then that starts to lift out here throughout the day here on Monday, but I think it's going to be primarily a warm system for most, but we'll keep an eye on it closely because they're starting to get into that pattern now where we're going to start getting a little bit colder. I don't think this is still the first week of December. We didn't project the first week yet to be really overly cold, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen. I think the second week of December it does get overly cold, or at least colder than average. So if you have another one of these systems moving in a week later, same like this, you're going to get a pretty good snow event across our coverage area here, just because the cold air is in place at the onset. And a better setup might be in the cards as we get to around the 8th or not, probably the 9th of December, somewhere right around there, give or take a day. There's another system lurking. We'll have to watch, and that's down the road quite a bit. So we'll keep an eye on this one because this is the one in the immediate threat. Of course, we have to get through the rain events that are going to be taking place over the next 12 to 24 hours. And then again, on here on Wednesday, these are going to be some much needed rainfall in the area. Again, most areas will get close to the 2-inch mark, if not exceeding it, in grand total between Tuesday and Wednesday night. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martich. That is your outlook for November 29th, 2016. Have a great Tuesday.